Hello, this is going to be another build vlog. This is going to be build vlog 3, and I have today I'm going to be talking about my skate brake. I did not video the 3D print, so after this little vloggy part, there's going to be no 3D printing time lapse, and I'm sorry about that. I'll remember to do it for the next part. I only made one part of version 2. And that's just to make sure I get some dimensions from the working model here. I'm just going to show you guys what I made, how I'm going to just talk very lightly on how I made it in the program, because if I talk too much, I'll start to ramble about that. And I'll just show you some key features of it. You guys are sitting on my 3D printer right now. This is my work table, or workbench. So this is trucks that I've taken apart just for this building this skate brake. So some of my measurements might be very specific to this truck setup, but I'm gonna try it later after I have the lever and everything working for these trucks. I'm gonna try it on my other trucks. I'm gonna actually start just trying it on a bunch of different skateboards to see what I can do to make this as universal as possible, so that way I can put it on Thingiverse knowing that almost anyone who prints it can use it. Yeah, so I have some parts on it. I'm just gonna take it down to bare, or I have it on some parts and some parts on it. So I'm just gonna take these parts off of it and strip it down basically to just the printed part. Okay. So I'm not gonna take that screw all the way out, but here's the part. It's basically a cone with a flat circle on top, or it's a cone that's been cut off at the top. That's been then cut. Sorry, I'm having a little trouble. That's then been cut this direction so I can have a flat spot. And I might actually later make two flat spots parallel to each other, so there'll be a flat spot here and a flat spot here, just so I can get better clearance for lower or smaller wheels. I had to drill this hole out because in the 3D model had it twice as small, which is just a little bit smaller than I need. No. It's just it was 3/16. It's supposed to be 3/8. That was a little program. I mean, that was a problem on my part. I put the wrong dimensions in. You can see on the top there's two holes. I might have to add a little bit of structure here at the end of this cone on the tip here, because this is a pretty beefy thread. I thought it was going to be an 1/8 inch, but it's actually closer to. It was closer to 3/16. It was closer to 3/16, so it's a little bit bigger. This right here is just an 1/8 inch hole, and there's another 1/8 inch hole in the bottom. This hole on the bottom here is for a set screw. So when you put it on here, it fits behind the wheel, which is exactly what I wanted. It fits behind the wheel. Oh. And the set screw keeps it from turning in this direction, and the wheel keeps it from going off. And when it's on there and it's tight, it does interfere with the wheel a little bit, but I believe that's just because the bearings actually dig into this and it stops all levels of the bearings. So I think that was just like the bearings. I tightened it too much, and that actually happens too if you use just this. You don't have like a little washer here, and I lost the washers a long time ago. And you can see on the trucks themselves, I put just a little divot with the drill so that the set screw sets in a little bit deeper than if I didn't have that hole, basically. And so that thing's on there with very little. Oh, I guess it's not on there. The thing with these screwdrivers here is they got a lot of torque, and I don't want to over torque this and break the threads in the plastic. You got to remember, this is only plastic. You can break threads very easily in plastic. And so here's another thread I made. This one you can see just a little bit. if I get some light on it, you see just a little crack in there. So I'm gonna have to remake this part with thicker walls around this hole right here, and I'm gonna make it to where it prints the hole the right size the next time. So that just threads in there really nice, and there you have it. The part's all complete. I'm gonna go ahead and put it on the wheel. It's gonna restrict a little bit of the view, but give a little insight to how this works, or how it will work. Like I said, the lever I haven't designed at all yet, and I wanted to build one piece at a time, unlike last time where I built 3 pieces at a time, and then I ended up, okay, this doesn't work, I have to scrap all 3 pieces. I'd rather save as much material as I can. You see just a little bit of friction in there. I think I can file away at some plastic in there, and it'll help that. But the main thing is the nut. The nut does have enough space to where the plastic nylon ring inside of it touches the threads, which means this thing will not vibrate off of these trucks, which is great. You don't want wheel just pop off in the middle of your ride, especially not because of something you're using to make your ride safer. So that friction right there is not a huge deal, but I will fix it eventually with either a file or a different measurement somewhere, so that I can make it a little bit less frictiony for the wheels in general. Excuse me. So there's another hole on top. Like I said, there's an 1/8 inch hole, which is just for a simple 1/8 inch screw, and machine screw, and that just threads in there. And it's for the lever. This little screw's for the lever. So whenever I go to put a lever on there, it's going to be attached with this 1/8 inch screw. And this 1/8 inch screw also adds more friction to the trucks, because it actually goes in to the truck and touches the trucks when it's fully tightened. Obviously the nut's not going to be, or the bolt's not going to be this long. I'm going to cut it down to size once I've made the lever. The first lever that I'm going to try is going to be basically a lever that is just the plastic. It's just going to be made out of PLA, and I'm going to have it turn, and when it turns, it's going to hook into this rubber, and it's going to push against the rubber, and it's going to slow down because of friction, obviously. But in theory, it would be way better if I had this piece of rubber here. If I had this piece of rubber on the shaft, or not the shaft, but on the lever, it would be way better. Way better. And I've got some ideas for other plastics, maybe like a dab of silicone or something like that, and or even Sugru. I've been thinking of a lot of different ways I can get rubber on this plastic. One thing I've thought about is making a Ninja Flex pads, and maybe putting them on this. I don't have any Ninja Flex, so that would be a slight issue there, the slightest issue. I don't have any, but I would prefer to use these too, because I get them for free off of bikes, and I can just find wherever, like I've said in the last video. So I'm gonna go ahead and start getting to work on the lever, and the next video will either be why the lever doesn't work, or why the lever does work, and a video of it working on the board. So I'll go ahead and start working on that. Thanks for watching, and I apologize for not filming the 3D printing of this cone, or the base. I will make sure to 3D print the next piece, the lever, and do a time-lapse of that one. I accidentally took a nap when I was printing this one and completely forgot about filming it. I did mess up twice. I don't know if I told you guys that, but I did mess up twice, so I forgot twice to film it. But I won't forget next time. Thanks for watching again. Please subscribe to my channel if you want to watch more content like this. this. Yep. Please leave a rating, comment, anything to let me know you're there, basically. Bye.